our exhaustion we tried to call out or even whisper, but no sound came. You see, we've been in this wilderness for quite some time and we were weak. We'd lost so much. But then, an adrenaline shot of joy gave us new life. The fears, the judgments, the preconceived notions that brought us to isolation began to be replaced with hope. And now, half running, half stumbling, we strove toward our unfamiliar friend. And finally, leaping into a deep embrace, the question our soul had asked 1,000 times was uttered. Norfolk, Virginia. go. Come on, boys. Show them how it's done. Well, I think we exerted all our energy on those first 4 songs, so that's it.
Oh, sweet Virginia, it's good to be back with you all. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, based on this very premature greeting, that they're one of the loveliest audience of the Lemons.
Okay. We might hold you to that though, right? So keep it going.
Right. Hey, it's lovely to be with you. Thank you for putting petrol in your cars, grabbing a friend, grabbing a ticket, coming, spending an evening with us. We're going to play a load of your favorite songs, hopefully. We might even play a brand new unreleased song for you tonight. Who knows, we might get crazy and play a Christmas song. I don't know. Just have to wait and see. But before we get to any of that, we should introduce you to the gifted, talented, fine fellows up on stage. Make them feel very welcome one by one, starting with our band leader. He's a man of triplets. He's a 3 on the Enneagram, just like me, if you're into that sort of thing. He's one of 3 children, 3 names. Garrett P. Tyler right here on drums.
And in all things, Walt Punk, he's of Greek descent. It just sounds cool. Would you give it up for our man? He's excellent, Mr. Christopher Carabelis.
He just had his birthday yesterday. He's 17 years old. I'm joking. He and his wife are expecting their 2nd child. He's great at the electric guitar. He's great at being human. Daniel Waterbury on the electronic guitar tonight.
And would you give it up for a man who hails from the great city of Miami? He's moving and grooving tonight, folks. Would you give it up for Mr. Dilo Daniel Lopez?
And he's in the kitchen tonight, cooking up something very special on his 11th show It's a beautiful thing to be loved right where we are, as we are, for who we are.
Always getting tangled now. I am a little bit difficult. I can be a little self-critical now. I am a little unable to put all my cards on the table now. But somehow you're still with me. It's amazing that you care. Love me like I am. And even when I can't, you still love me as I am. Oh, I don't know how you do it, and I know I push you through it. Yeah, it's amazing that you care. Love me like I, love me like I. Still love me as I am. Oh, I don't know how you do it, and I know I put you through it. Yeah, it's amazing that you can love me like I, love me like I.
Where are the ladies tonight? Hear me. It does not matter what has been said to you or done to you, what lies have been told to you or about you or you told yourself. Here are the facts. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are image bearers of God. You are priceless.
There's more to who you are. is what you're worth. More than all the money, all the diamonds and pearls. Ah, this is who you are. Yeah, this is who you are. So it's late, you had way too much to say. Don't you then forget it in the bed. Hey, you can be great. Hey, I see you dressed in white. Never run me right. I see you rosy blue at the sight of you. You're irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, darling, it's beautiful. I see it all in you. So distance, we can start again, and you on it to the end. Love, we can start again. Brothers, we can start again. You on it till the end. Yeah, we can start again. I see you dressed in white. Every round me right. Oh, I see you rosy blue at the sight of you. Oh, so irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, darling, it's beautiful. I see you shining out. At the sight of you, see you looking right, every on me right. See you rosy blue, we can stop it. See you looking right, every on me right. I see you rosy blue at the sight of you. I see you looking right, every on me right. Oh, so priceless. I'm here, you were there, lying side by side, out of touch, out of reach, in the great divide. Parallel lines. Welcome my wife to the screen, would you?
The drops on the window pane. Wide awake, still night. Why do we play this game? Oh God, I hate this game.
Throw up
family. One more time to our wives, Courtney and Mariah on screen.
You can have a seat, rest your weary legs. You all know that it takes an incredible amount of work and effort to put on one of these shows. And so I want to recognize everyone on the security detail at the arena, every staff member. Matt and Tom at the Chartway Arena, thank you for your kind gift tonight. Thank you for having us. Dan at AEG for promoting and getting the word out. I've got, so I just need to recognize a couple of people on our team real quick, all right? Jacob Grover, right back here, he's our video guy. Stand up, Jacob. Stand up, he's a good bloke. He does all of our video content, all the magic you see on screen tonight. His parents are here tonight, Christy and Jeff, so honored to have you with us. Very thankful to him. And one of the new members of our crew, Mr. Tony in City over at Monitors. Again, you won't see him either, but he's tucked away back there. And to put it simply, a monitor engineer can either make our show marvelous or miserable, and he does an incredible job. His wife was here earlier. His aunt and uncle and cousin Reese are here tonight, so show them some love. Daniel Jones' family is here. We send you our love. You're here tonight. You did it, everyone. You made it. My mum and dad are here in the audience. My mum just celebrated her birthday yesterday. Can we just, in your best Aussie accent, yell happy birthday, Mum? Mum would be you. 1, 2, 3. That was nice. Well, the accent was a bit dodgy, but I liked it. Anyone celebrating birthdays tonight? Everybody celebrating birthdays? Happy birthday. What about anniversaries? Any anniversaries? Is it your anniversary? Birthday? What year is this for you? 36. Congratulations, gentlemen. That's good. What about anniversary? Anniversary? How many years? 22 years ago today. Oh. And I'm your favorite, not Luke. I'm your favorite. Okay. That's incredible. Happy meet-anniversary to you both. That's marvelous. Glad to have you. I got to tell you, we love celebrating with you guys. Life moments, anniversaries, birthdays, and so on. Can you believe this? Speaking of anniversaries, Luke and I, as of last year, have been a duo for 10 years. And in all truthfulness, it's been the honor of our lives to go on this journey of music with you. You have always made us feel so loved, and we're very proud to be on this stage. We've been doing a lot of reflecting lately on family in general, on our family of origin. We are from Australia. Hope you can still sort of tell, kind of. Songs like, what? Yeah. We live in Nashville, Tennessee. Giddy up, man. Can you get a yeehaw? Well done. You're very good at the yeehaw. We live in Nashville. We married Americans, as you saw. We love it here. But we've been doing a lot of reflection on our parents' sort of migration story in the 90s, coming over here 30 odd years ago. And Luke and I, over the years, have fancied ourselves as filmmakers on the side. We worked on a feature film in 2016 called Priceless. I acted in it. He was one of the producers. And Luke says that, well, if you're crazy enough to do a film, you should do another. And so we've been developing for almost 3 years now our parents' story of migration. It's a family film, mainly circling around our mum, or our mom. Mom. How do you say it? You sound like a sheep. Good job. Circling around our mum, it's a story that's really important to us. It won't be released for a moment yet. We just finished up with the edit, but we're very proud of it. Proud to tell the story. And we put together a 60-second clip of the film for you tonight. I actually played my dad in the film, a very expensive therapy session. So take a look at the screens. This is Unsung Hero.
the sky. I'll be safe.
Your family, they're not in the way. They are the way.
As you can see, if you want to follow along, you can text mum to Tennessee. Does anyone have their mums with you tonight? Anyone have your mum with you tonight? Why don't you reach out, give your mum a kiss on the cheek, hold her hand, show her that you love her. I sing this song, we sing this song for any mother here, anyone who's lost your mum. We dedicate this to you tonight.
Once upon a time, you were 25, walking up the aisle. You made the promise of love. You blinked twice and you were 29, singing lullabies. And I looked up at you for the first time. Words fall short, but I am sure there'll never be anyone like you. You're strong like your father, even when you were scared. When I was in trouble, you never left me there. And you love like your mother, like there's nothing to lose. You're an unsung hero, so I sing this song for you. Woke up, I was 21, and I fell in love. Remember how I told you that I'd searched the world and I found the girl, and it's all how she reminds me of you. You're strong like your father, even when you were scared. When I was in trouble, you never left me there. And you love like your mother, like there's nothing to lose. You're an unsung hero, and I sing this song for you. For all the times I fell down, you showed me how to stand. And when we crossed the ocean, you were my safe place to land. Been on 1,000 stages, but when it's all said and done, I hope we make you proud of the man that I've become. To be strong like my father, even when I'm scared. And when someone's in trouble, oh, I'll never leave them there. And I love like my mother, like there's nothing to lose. You're our unsung heroes, and we sing this song for you.
For all the sleepless nights, all the sacrifice, all the ways that you showed that you cared, all the prayers we hope to carry it on, generation after generation after generation.
Just the way that you taught us, sing our songs, our melodies in harmony. Just the way that you taught us, sing our songs, our melodies. just the way that you told us. How did we get here? We'll cast away on the long shore. I can see in your eyes, dear. It's hard to take for a moment, but we've got to burn the ships, cut the ties, send the flame into the night. Say a prayer, turn the tide, dry your tears and wave goodbye. Step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the holiday. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back. Don't let it arrest you. This fear of falling again. And if you need a refuge, I will be right here until the end. Oh, it's time to burn the ships, cut the ties, send the flare into the night. Say a prayer, turn the tide, dry your tears and wave goodbye. Step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the holiday. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back. So long to shame, walk through the suffering, out of the fire, into tomorrow. So fresh the pills, face the fear, feel the wave disappear. We're coming clean, we're born again now. Oh, we can breathe again. And step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the holiday. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the holiday. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back. And don't you look back. And don't you look back.
Will we stand together? This is for Tina.
This is what must have making pasta, sing for the just found out. Life is now upside down. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're finding the fight of life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. We fall together.
Sorry, Charlie backgrounds.
For the second chance, this is for the no romance. Singing for the left in vain, overcame. It's not too late.
If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're finding the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. If we fall, we will fall together. Together. Oh, when we rise, we will rise together. Together.
Every hand in the air.
Together with our differences, together we are bolder, braver. Come on, go. Stronger.
Well, thank you very much. You guys can take a seat. You all must be exhausted. Well, it is a privilege for us to be here with you all. It's not lost on us, as Joel said earlier, that to be able to come to an event like this after the last few years that we've had is a real treat. To do something together is particularly special. So thank you very much for being here. It's a real special moment here. I want to take a moment and share with you a little bit about my story. As John mentioned, yes, we're originally from Australia. It's also true that you Americans, you've jacked up my accent. Thanks. Born in Australia, my dad was a concert promoter back there. On one particular tour he brought back to Australia, the tour didn't go very well, and we actually ended up losing everything that we had as a family. We lost the house, we lost the car, we lost the life savings. And so my dad was looking for a fresh start for his career, and he thought it would be a good idea. Well, he found out that there was a job opportunity in Nashville, Tennessee, and he thought it would be a good idea to move his 6 kids and his wife, who was 6 months pregnant, to the other side of the world. That's exactly what we did. But soon after we arrived in Nashville, my dad actually lost that job. And so we're straight on the other side of the world, no friends, no family. We were sleeping on beds made out of clothes. We weren't always quite sure where the next meal was going to come from. We didn't have to wait for our little sister to be born in a hospital. We didn't have a car, and I mean, the needs just went on and on and on. And we didn't know what else to do other than just gather around as a family in our furnitureless living room and just start praying for these essential things in life. And we got to see some incredible miracles take place during that time. And I'll share a few with you. The first one was this. We
we had some new friends that asked to kind of walk through our house, and they realized very quickly that we had nothing in the house, all right? And we just told them it was really good to play cricket in, all right? Because there was nothing around, you know, you couldn't break anything. And I kid you not, a few days later, they came back, and they had 2 box trucks full of furniture, and they furnished our entire house. That was one miracle. It was pretty amazing, yes? And the next was this. Our little sister was born in a hospital. Very, very grateful for that. But one of the things I've realized about hospitals, well, first of all, any folks working in the medical field here tonight? Any folks working in the medical field? Yeah, you guys are amazing. Amazing. Thanks for what you do. But one of the things I've realized about hospitals, having 4 kids ourselves, but is hospitals are incredibly gifted and skilled and talented at sending you large bills, all right? And we got sent a really large bill. We were broke, and so my dad had made some sort of deal with the hospital and a payment plan, and he called up one day to make a payment on that plan, and the person on the other line said, "Hey, Mr. Smallwood, your bill, it's been paid on full." And you know, we still to this day don't know who paid for our little sister being born in the hospital, yeah. Next was this. We were renting a small home in a little subdivision, and one of the things I love about you Americans is you guys are inherently generous people, but I think they started asking some interesting questions about our family, all right? I think they started saying things like, "Can you understand a word that they say? They speak incredibly strangely. I mean, they've got 6 kids for crying. 6 kids? Well, no, wait up, there's a 7th. They're like bunnies, you know?" And like I said, you guys are generous people in America, and so these new neighbors, they just started dumping groceries on our doorstep, and I went to mom and dad, I was like, "We can't leave," and they were like, "Why?" I was like, "Free food, you know?" And then the last story, and probably the most miraculous story, was this. When we came to America, we came in the fall, and Thanksgiving was coming up, and you Americans, you make a big old deal out of Thanksgiving, let me tell you. Big old deal, yeah, it's a wonderful thing. And you probably know this, but I didn't, growing up in Australia, but you're literally one of only like 2 countries in the world that have something, Canada's got some sort of idea of Thanksgiving, obviously, America's got Thanksgiving. I mean, the rest of the world is literally that ungrateful, all right? And I was trying to figure out, I was like, man, why don't we have Thanksgiving in Australia? I mean, this is a wonderful idea. And then I realized, you know the people who founded Australia, you know who they were? Convicts. Anyway, so we had a family come over and say, "Hey, why don't you come over for Thanksgiving?" And we went over to this family's house, and we had a wonderful, wonderful time with this family. And at the end of the night, the father of the household came to us. He said, "Hey, I don't know why, but I feel compelled to give you the keys to my brand new car, and I just want you guys to have it." We quickly, very, very quickly fell in love with Thanksgiving after that, let me tell you. And look, when you go through something like that, we would pray for things, and they would take place. We would ask for a miracle, and it would happen. It'll change you. It'll affect you. You'll never be the same. And what I realized as a young boy was this: the moment that we stop giving to our friends, giving to our neighbors, giving to our families, and the moment that we stop giving to the poor, our souls go dark. And someone might be wondering, well, what does this have to do with anything? Well, we've been a part of an organization called Compassion International, and Compassion is some fans here, that's good. Compassion International is a child sponsorship program that specializes in reversing the cycle of poverty in 3rd world countries. It believes that by pouring into the youth of these countries, that they will raise up the next Mother Teresa's, the next Billy Grahams, prime ministers, pastors, lawyers, doctors, mothers, fathers, and they will transform these countries from the inside out. And I heard a very cool story about a young boy whose name was Richmond, and Richmond was born in Uganda. He was actually born to a fairly affluent family, but at a very young age, Richmond's father was actually murdered. And with that murder went all the provision for the family. And they were actually forced to move into the slums. And I don't know if you guys have been on a trip and experienced the slums before, but the slums is just unthinkable difficulty, 24/7, just unthinkable difficulty. And Richmond's mother started asking herself the same question that you and I would ask. And that's how do I get my family out of this? How do I get my family out of extreme poverty? She ended up hearing about the local Compassion International project, and Richmond ended up getting accepted into that program. Was in that program for a number of years, ended up graduating with the equivalent of a high school diploma, then went on and got his bachelor's degree over in Uganda, then came to the Moody Bible Institute, and got his master's there. And then I just heard of this boy, who is now a man. I just heard that he graduated with his doctorate right here in the United States of America. Isn't that cool? And look, I tell you that story because, I mean, look, Richmond's story could be a movie. I mean, it's an amazing, amazing story. But the most challenging aspect of his story is this, and it got me the very first time I heard it. The person who sponsored Richmond, where this all started, was a 14-year-old little girl who said to herself, hey, you know, I can babysit for enough hours every month and I can afford to sponsor a child. Because of that one girl's decision, we are now seeing ripple effects take place all across the world because Richmond has now gone back to Uganda and is planting churches, is shepherding pastors, and doing absolutely remarkable things because of one little girl said, I can do something. I can make a difference. Yeah. So just a few moments, we're going to have some Compassion International volunteers come throughout this arena with these things called child packs. And I want to read to you a little bit about this child that I have here in my hand. This is little Vanessa. It says that Vanessa lives in Rwanda, and you can actually read up a little bit more about their story in the back. And so I want to read that to you. It says that Vanessa lives with her mother. Her mother is sometimes employed as a farmer. Vanessa helps her mother by caring for the animals, buying or selling in the market, carrying water, caring for younger children, cleaning around the home, gathering firewood, working in the kitchen, making beds. I don't know what this girl can't do. Running errands, sewing, teaching others, and washing clothes. I mean, obviously a pretty remarkable little girl. And obviously we don't know where and what happened to her father in this situation. I mean, in Rwanda, we've seen movies made about it. I mean, Rwanda is a very difficult place. HIV/AIDS is obviously a thing. There's a lot of violence. And here's a little girl who lives with her mother. Her mother is sometimes employed as a farmer. There's probably 5, 6, 7 other kids. I mean, the need is just insane. And for some of you here tonight, you might be thinking to yourself, man, look, I love the thought of Compassion International. I love the thought of sponsoring a child. But I just can't afford it. And here's what I would say to you. If you were to get together with just 2 friends tonight, yourself and 2 friends, it would be about $14 each. And you have a child's life, just like Vanessa's, changed forever. Maybe tonight you came with your youth group or a small group, a sponsored child as a group, and take up a fund once a month, and you have a child's life, just like Vanessa's, changed. Probably the most powerful way that I've seen child sponsorship take place is actually through families. When I was a young boy, my parents sponsored a child. I put the picture, just like Vanessa's picture, up in the refrigerator. And every time that I would go get milk, or I'd go get orange juice, or I'd go get food, I was reminded of the fact that there are other kids in this world who didn't have that ability. But yet that I could go and rake leaves, and I could go and mow lawns, and I could do something. And I think it's very, very important for us as parents, my wife Courtney and I, we got 4 kiddos, it's very important for us as parents to understand that, look, we live in a very selfish society, very, very self-seeking. And unless we as parents are intentionally doing things to display to our children what it means to be generous, what it means to be kind, what it means to be loving, man, our kids are just going to go along with society. And I think that sponsoring a child is just one of the many ways, but just one of the ways that you can intentionally put on that display of kindness and generosity. And so what you would do is if you decided that you wanted to sponsor a child tonight, what you would do is you'd take this blue tab, you'd fill it out, and you would turn it into one of many locations here tonight. Anybody with a blue apron on here tonight, they're a Compassion International volunteers. They actually have the ability to process the sponsoring a child right there in your seats. And also there's several stands around the main concourse. There's also a stand usually back behind the sound and light desk that you can also turn that blue form into. So tonight, is anybody with a blue apron or any of those tables? Or tonight we actually have the ability, if you scan these QR codes, all right, it'll take you directly to that child pack virtually online. And if you just follow through all the steps, you can sponsor a child that way. That's probably the quickest and easiest way to sponsor a child if we have good cell reception in here, right? If you don't have good cell reception in here, just fill out that form. That'll be the best way. Or, speaking of cell reception, you can also do a text to sponsor system, which is text the word waiting to 83393, and we'll actually send you a virtual child pack that has been specifically curated for your phone number. And once again, if you just follow through all the promptings, you can sponsor a child that way. And we're doing something very special tonight, and that's this. If you sponsor a child tonight, we want to give you a couple of gifts. Our sweet, sweet mother, she wrote a book called Behind the Lights, and obviously we're very, very proud of her. She's a very wise woman, and we want to give you that book. Kind of talks a little bit more in greater detail about the story that I just told you. We also want to give you our latest project, What Are We Waiting For, along with this Unsung Hero bag, just as a way to say thanks. I mean, this is literally one of the most important things that we talked about from the platform tonight, so I just want to make sure we give to you guys as you give to these kids. So take that blue tab, fill it out, turn it into anybody with a blue apron on or any of the tables. You can also scan that QR code, which is probably the fastest way to sponsor a child if there's good cell reception. Same with the Texas sponsor. Text the word waiting to 83393. And for both the QR code and the text message system, as soon as you get an email in your inbox confirming that you sponsored a child, just raise that hand up really, really high, and they'll come and give you that free gift. Oftentimes people wonder, Luke, why do you take time out of your concert to talk about Compassion International? Why don't you just play more songs? And here's the truth. Under very, very different circumstances, I was much like these kids when I first came to America. And if it wasn't for people like yourselves who gave to me and my family, if it wasn't for people like yourself who gave generously to me and my family, I wouldn't be sitting up here on this stage. And second of all, I say this, I will never grow tired of advocating for children who are in desperate need of food, clothing, and education, and most of all, who are in desperate need of Jesus Christ in their life, yeah? So right now, all across this room, if you're interested in sponsoring a child, you're obviously not committing to anything, but if you're interested in sponsoring a child, just raise your hand up really, you can have this one right here if you like. Raise your hand up really, really high. Maybe tonight you want to sponsor a child with a couple of friends tonight. Maybe you wanted to sponsor a child as a youth group, a small group, whatever it might be. Maybe tonight you want to sponsor a child as a family, father, son, mother, daughter, whatever it might be. Just raise those hands up really, really high. We've got Compassion International volunteers all throughout the arena here, and they'll be looking for those hands. As I said, what you would do is you would take that blue tab, you'd fill it out, turn it into anyone with a blue apron on tonight or any of the stands. You can also use that QR code if the cell reception is working well, or the text to sponsor system, which is text the word waiting to 83393.
Don't text if you're gonna do that.
But just keep those hands up really, really
You're gonna
high so we can see.
do
I'll keep chatting just for a few minutes while they get to you.
Okay.
One of the coolest things about Compassion International is you actually get to write letters back and forth to these kids. My wife, Courtney, and I, we sponsor a child in El Salvador, and his name is Diego, and Diego's a really cool kid that we got to go visit not too long ago. Got to go play soccer with him, went to the water park, went and had lunch at his house, did all sorts of wonderful things, and the relationship they had was so deep. And the only way that I could really trace that back to is these letters that you get to exchange back and forth. And when it came time for me to say goodbye to him, the most unexpected thing took place. I told him I was proud of him, that I loved him. And as I was walking away, he reached up and grabbed my neck. He pulled it down and gave me a kiss on the cheek. And I think that kiss represented all the love and support that he's felt through this wonderful ministry called Compassion International. Just keep those hands up if we haven't got to you. I promise you that we will. If you had a heart for a different country, different birth month, different gender, whatever it might be, obviously we've got a bunch of kids here who are in desperate need of being sponsored tonight. Just talk to any of those volunteers. I'd love to be able to help you out. But we're going to break for about a 15-minute intermission, and then we're going to be back with much, much more music. Thank you guys very much.